throwing up, which
Yeah.
is a huge deterrent for me. I just
For me too.
it's really
Me
hard for
too.
me to imagine
Yeah, throwing up
going
sucks.
into it because
Awful.
that's one
Yeah.
of my least favorite experiences.
Yeah.
And I gather that you have found places where you could continue the practice of ayahuasca,
I have.
and
Yeah.
I won't press you beyond that, uh, but I know in this area and in other countries beyond Peru, there are people who are conducting ayahuasca ceremonies and have sort of ayahuasca communities,
Yeah.
so that you've been able to kind of continue.
I will
Um,
say this about the ayahuasca trip that I went on in Peru and the group that I've sort of continued to practice it with is that like one of the big reasons that it's been so healing is like one essential element, and that is love. And these communities are sort of the, aside from maybe my therapist, the first sort of time that I've like connected with people who are just like pure love, and they're just like their intention and attention towards me is just for my well-being. There's nothing else wrapped up in it. And um, and because that, ayahuasca can be used for harm, it can be used, it's not, you can go to Peru and end up in a bad scenario if you're not careful and don't do your homework. And so like the key ingredient to any shamanistic practice, as far as I've experienced it, is love. And I think that's the key ingredient to any therapeutic practice as well. I think love is the ultimate uh, healer, and ayahuasca and San Pedro are sort of tools to help you get deeper into love, I guess.
that's interesting. I haven't heard anybody else talk about it in that context. And what that brings up for me too is trust. I mean,
Yeah.
to that's it's a real risk to enter into a psychedelic experience. And I know from my own past experiences, fear and trust issues, and who can you trust, and how much can you trust them. Um,
Yeah. But yeah, no, and it took me a long time to understand this about, about my therapist say that what she was actually doing was loving me all along, all throughout
mm,
therapy and all, and uh, what the reason I felt so amazing after 5 ayahuasca ceremonies or 7 days of being in the mountains doing it was the was the fact that these people just were these like pure loving beings towards me, and that is the same sense that I get around the people that I've now joined this Gestalt community, and those people are pure. Yes, so like I learned the lesson of like who, which people are best for me, and like the people that are working on themselves and the people that are really loving and don't have like too many barriers in the way of their hearts. Like if you can find those people and be around those people, they will be healing for you in ways you can't imagine.
wow, that's a really good statement. I'm just